Hello, welcome to the newspaper review here on Top TV. Today is the 25th day of July 2022. I'm really excited to have you join us here on the newspaper review. My name is Williams Abule, and with me here is Mr. Victor Sioko.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much for making it here to the program. He's our current affairs analyst, and together we're going to go through the headlines across newspapers around Nigeria. If this is the first time you're seeing this video, to stay connected to this channel, of course, get informed on the go as we're doing now. You need to first of all subscribe to this channel by clicking on the subscribe key. Don't also forget to turn on your notification right there, the same place where you see the subscribe button. Turn on your notification. That helps to get notified whenever we come up with a new episode of the program and a lot more programs here on TAP TV. So do well to do that. And we're also on other social media platforms. We're on Facebook as TAP TV. On Instagram is TAP TV _ NG, and on Twitter it's a TAP TV. So connect with us on all of this platform. Let's get to know what you think about most of our contents here, and of course especially about the newspaper review. You need to drop your opinions about the headlines that we discuss here. All right, we'll go straight to the papers for today, the 25th day of July 2022, and we'll start with the Vanguard newspaper. All right, on Vanguard newspaper for today, we see from the top part of that paper, presidential interview, are more qualified than the APC candidate. Peter Obi speaking, and you find that on page 14 of the Vanguard newspaper. We also see here APC's Muslim ticket, a slap on northern Christians. Retired Air Commodore Suleiman speaking there, and that you find on page 42 of the Vanguard newspaper. Moving on, we see as the major headline, as INEC moves to turn down its own reports from primaries, tension in INEC. Infighting threaten 2023 elections. Tension in INEC. Infighting threaten 2023 elections. Akpabio Lawan may be thrown lifelines. APC, PDP, some INEC officials in underhand moves. Femi Falana expects criminal prosecution of Akpabio Lawan. Activation of court orders delayed. Pressure on Yakubu to compromise commission. Electoral Act 2022 trampled. We stand by the monitoring reports received from our state offices. INEC says commission not under obligation to publish names of those not validly elected. All right. Other stories here, we see NLC meets ASU, orders on solidarity rally. You find details of that on page 11 of the Vanguard newspaper. And at the bottom part, we see threats to abduct President Kaduna governor. Terrorists flog kidnap train victims in fresh video. You'll see details on page 11 of the Vanguard newspaper. All right, Mr. Victor, I'm going to come to you. All right, there are some very striking reports on the Vanguard. We see where terrorists have gone ahead to threaten the Kaduna state governor and the president of a possible attack. But that's not where I'm going to go to right now. We'll come to that later. Let's talk about INEC, which is like the major headline here on the Vanguard newspaper. By the way, you find that story on page 5 of the Vanguard newspaper. That's where you get details of that. Let's talk about that. It says there is tension and there's been infightings within INEC, and it is beginning to threaten the 2023 general elections. What's your take on that story?
Okay, the issue now is some group of politicians, opposing politicians, are coming out to say that INEC are supposed to bring out names of people that have perpetrated that have gone against the Electoral Act with respect to primaries. Yeah. And they are saying that INEC are saying that they do not have the power to publish those names and prosecute. Okay? And mind you, they might just be right, because they also try to follow the footprint and the detail of the Electoral Act. Now, what is prompting such an act or such a clamor right now is because of what is happening in the APC. You find out that the current Senate President, Ahmad Lawan, and the former Minister of Niger Delta Affairs, the NDDC, and former Governor of Akwa Ibom State, Akpabio, you find out that those two candidates, majorly those two candidates, bought two forms As in, they applied to become president, and they also applied to become National Assembly members, meaning senators. Okay, so, but the Electoral Act does not allow a candidate to purchase two forms.
Yeah.
Now, the APC also published these candidates as winners of another round of primaries in their respective zones, senatorial zones. Mind you, Yobe State, there is an issue there because of Machina. Machina has already won his senatorial area, but Ahmed Lawan, the current Senate president, had to, okay, he first lobbied Machina to step down, but Machina refused to step down.
Yeah.
Lo and behold, there was another primaries. I don't want to start talking about morality right now. We already know that many of these politicians have really shown us who they are. And mind you, why would somebody of that pedigree, a Senate president, and you aspired, it's on record that you once aspired to become the president, you are now breaking somebody's arm because of you think you are more powerful. You think you have the system behind your back.
Yeah.
So that's where some persons are clamoring and saying that INEC should prosecute. But they are also coming out to say it is not in their power. Okay, somebody like Ingini being the former INEC state chairman, no, INEC rep member, rep commissioner for Akwa Ibom State. He came out and slammed on Akpabio, telling him that, see, you will go to jail. In fact, he came on national TV and was threatening. Yeah, some persons from the APC also came out to say, see, that he should not, he's an INEC official, and he should not be making such utterances. Okay, so, but yeah, we are still waiting. I think right now, it is not really the front burner now. We still, INEC has a whole lot in their arms. Mind you, it's just barely a week from the exercise, the voter registration exercise to finish, and they need to publish things. They need to publish names, and well, a whole lot of things for INEC to do before the campaign kicks off.
Very majorly, one of these issues is this one that has been raised by concerned Nigerians, where politicians seem to have the free will to do things that are unthinkable. This is unthinkable, where you run for the office of the president in a certain capacity, and you are also running for, you know, the office of the Senate, a senator in another capacity. I mean, simultaneously. This is unheard of. But
mind you, I'm not doubting INEC, okay, with respect to their powers and them being firm, okay, to the Electoral Act. Mind you, what happened in Taraba State might just happen. What happened even in River State might just happen. Mind you, River State did not show up during the elections.
Yes.
They were the APC rather.
No
APC, there was no candidate. APC, so I think they are just they might just be laughing at these politicians, because right now I know that this is not even their priority right now. So I think they will be treated. They will be treated.
They built a good reputation in this, this new INEC leadership. They've done a very good job so far. They've received a lot of commendations in the way elections have been run recently, and with their conduct and everything. There seems to be people are beginning to trust the system little by little again. It seems as if there's more transparency in the system, and these are the things that INEC needs to, they are trying to correct, and they don't want to go back to where they're coming from. And in that light, they're going to have to, try to work with these politicians with wisdom. But we're going to continue with the discussion and with some more of the headlines, but that will be right after this short break. You stay tuned. When we come back, we'll continue with the headlines.
Have you registered for your permanent voter's card? I mean, your PVC. There is a Nigeria we all seek, a place where love, peace, security, and unity can reign supreme.
Waste no time. We want a country where peace and justice will be the order of the day.
Unfortunately, there's a problem. One big challenge this generation has to solve,
Our country cries for help every day. We need able and capable hands to lead and direct.
These capable hands can be you. Have you gotten your PVC? Have you registered for the ongoing voting process? Don't say your vote does not count. Yes, it does.
Have you gotten your PVC? Your apathy towards Nigeria's electioneering process will further inhibit our collective growth and development as a nation. Your refusal to participate and engage will keep us at a standstill. So be intentional.
I have my PVC. Your votes, your voice would go a long way in preventing absolute destruction of this country and the future of our children, the hope of tomorrow.
The 2023 Nigerian elections are just around the corner. Go out and get heard. Don't forget, your vote, your voice. This message is proudly brought to you by Thav Media.
All right, welcome back from that break, and thank you very much for staying with us. Let's continue with the headlines, but this time we're going to the Daily Sun newspaper. And on the Daily Sun newspaper, as the headline there, from the top part, we see IPOB, Kano's family rejoice over UN intervention, urge federal government to respect court order. And you find details of that on page 8 of the Daily Sun newspaper. Also, we see here PDP behind Khan's opposition to APC's same-faith ticket at February. Speaking there, details of that, so page 29 of the Daily Sun newspaper. We also see here NIMET, that's the Nigerian Meteorological Service, alerts of heavy flooding in southwest Taraba and orders. You find details of that on page 3 of the Daily Sun newspaper. There's this very interesting picture too on the Daily Sun of the Vice President, in person of Professor Yemi Osibanjo, flagged by his wife and some doctors after at the Duchess Clinic where he had the surgery last week. All right, we move on to other headlines here. We see Kaduna train abductors issue kidnap notice, threaten to abduct governors, government officials, other leaders. Outrage trails video of terrorists brutalizing kidnapped passengers. Why we are cautious in rescue efforts. Presidency speaking there. And lastly, I'll take this one. NDLEA arrest 8 over Abuja, Lagos, Enugu airports cocaine bust. Details you find on page 5 of the Daily Sun newspaper. All right, Mr. Victor, I cannot help but bring up the issue of the Kaduna train victims that are still in captivity. I mean, there's the video that trended over the weekend. I'm sure you saw that video. Many Nigerians saw that video. It wasn't a very pleasant sight. It tells you the harrowing pain and struggle these abductees are facing. I mean, they are in hell while alive. And the Nigerian government is still, I don't know if I would say, I don't want to think they are playing politics with people's lives, but it has come to a point where they should, we've said it before on this show, that they should take a drastic measure, drastic attempt to save the lives of these people. With this new video that has surfaced, it just tells you what these people have been going through in the past 4 months and counting. What's your reaction to that and other stories? I'd like you to also react to other stories while you're responding to that from this Daily Sun.
It was a very, if I use sad, I'm not expressing myself very well. It was a very gory video to watch.
Very, very.
I just pity the families of these victims.
And you know, there are children.
Oh.
There were children there in the video. Not just
children.
fathers, not just young people. We saw children, we saw women, we saw young girls. You know, it's painful to see that. And you know, for adults to be crying and screaming the way they were doing while they were being flogged, it tells you that that's what they get every other day. It's sad. And for this video, if this video has not moved the government to take a drastic step at this time, I wonder when they are going to do it. Is it when these people are dead? Because I'm sure psychologically they are already dead. I mean, 4 months and counting.
Mr. Bule, one of the persons there, they showed his picture
Before.
days before he was adopted and pictures of him being there. The difference is he's just looking like somebody that is about to die.
Yeah.
He's just too close to death.
It's sad, very sad.
Now, you find out that these elements, these state actors, you can see the confidence in them because they did a broadcast, or more like a recorded video, and yeah, in Hausa, they came to say that they will kidnap the president, the vice president, National Assembly members. Could you imagine that? What an insult.
The effrontery.
So, and come to think of it, one of them that spoke was released from Kuje's prison. Part of the prison break. He was even saying that the prison break was part of the negotiation. Well, for me, I will leave that for the DSS and the people in charge to handle that information.
Yeah.
But they also mentioned that they know that the government are around them. Okay? That they cannot do anything. So, it beats my imagination that this small group, because you cannot tell me that they are more powerful than our military. They are not. So why can't we handle them? Why can't we, oh my goodness God, deal with them? Why can't we deal with them?
It's sad. It's sad because I you know, in this kind of situation where you don't even have control over what could happen to the victims there within the next one.
And Mr. Bule, a lot is happening. Look at what also happened at Katsina State yesterday. A bus carrying 30 persons. The driver was killed. People adopted in same Nigeria, the same country. And look at one striking information that these guys released, that people should come and join their religion because they are taking over Nigeria. And you begin to wonder. So the government of the APC of Buhari will just keep their hands folding while they watch these guys take over the country.
Yes, and cause so much unrest. So much unrest. You know, this insecurity has really eaten deep into our economy. I keep saying that. The fact that our agricultural system is every day under threat to go down because of these people is something that should worry this government. People don't go to the farms anymore.
Our agriculture did 30 billion this year. Just 30 billion. Some that should be hitting about 1 trillion.
Yes.
It's doing only 30 billion. My brother, that's the reason why you see food inflation. Reason why even the USD, because we cannot even do anything here. We cannot manufacture things. Look at
importing everything.
Oh my goodness.
And to think that, you know, most of the food that we eat comes from the north. They are big on food, all kinds of food. This should worry our leaders, where most of the communities in the north cannot access their farms anymore because of this level of insecurity.
And Mr. Bule, we're not just talking about the north, even in southwest.
Of course.
Even in the east. Yes, the east have their both banditry and the state actors in the east of in quotes trying to get their own nation.
Yeah.
Okay, but you find out that there's too much happening in this part of the world.
Yeah.
Too much happening.
We need to have a more responsive government, and that's it. Well, it's a very, very sad situation. This insecurity in this country demands a very quick response from the government. For them to even have the effrontery to be challenging and threatening to kidnap the president, and they have attempted it once.
Yes.
Yeah, they have attempted
Yes,
it.
his convoy on his way to Katsina,
to
his hometown.
For them to do that,
Dara.
it's not a common thing where you see criminals try to attack the convoy of any president, and they have done that here to the current president, and they are even planning. And remember, elections are coming. People need to feel secure to go out to vote. This thing is going to affect everything, so they need to, be very quick about their response, and that's what we demand.
And please, it should not just be one-sided. Their response should not just face the north, because in the southeast, Imo State, to be precise, there are towns. If you go to Obo in Imo State, you cannot even to do registration. This PVC that everybody is rushing to do, people are scared to even go get their PVCs. talk more of election day. So they should. It's just a general thing, my brother.
Yeah, we know the insecurity system in the country is really crumbling. Well, moving on, we'll go to the Nation's newspaper. And on the Nation's newspaper, we see Ipman on why petrol queues persist. Demand more than supply. All right, demand more than supply. You find details of that on page 7 of the Nation's newspaper. We also see here, Fayemi Fashola, Muslim ticket, a winning strategy. Also, we see as the major headline on the Nation's newspaper, security on red alert over threat to Buhari El-Rufai. Train attack, insurgents threaten to attack President Kaduna governor. Government won't succumb to propaganda, says presidency. Victims' families protest today. We also see here, or your monarch, Sheyi joins ancestors. All right, Mr. Victor, it's just what we were discussing before I took the headlines on the Nation's newspaper, which is how would I put it, like the failing security architecture of the country, and it has gotten to the peak. And here on Nation's newspaper, we see this report about the threat over a likely attack on the presidency and the Kaduna State governor. So they have all, gone ahead to increase their security and try to, beef up their security. But what about the ordinary Nigerian? What happens to them?
My brother, that's why we need a fresh start.
What?
Eh?
And we'll just take it and finish it.
Is it not just to plug this thing that make the sound just drop? We just know say today, we don't come out our hands from the matter. Eh? Come out from the sound record.
But you don't come back now. More the talk.
Chai, you go ask me again. No?
Okay. Okay. Mr. Victor, is it not even very troubling, that these guys, just like what we were saying before, I took the headlines, about the threat on the presidency and the Kaduna State governor, and they have gone ahead to secure themselves. But how about the ordinary Nigerian, people that cannot move around without looking over their shoulders?
These are the topics the voters should be talking about right now. But unfortunately, look at what we are talking about. Did you carry what do you call it, bullion van, or did you not carry bullion van? Muslim tickets.
Yeah.
Then talking about certificates, looking for certificates. This person say, I have my certificate. This person, I don't have my certificate. This person will now say, I have my classmates. My classmates are still alive. Yeah. You now ask the other person, my classmates are not alive. Oh my goodness, God!
Issues.
Forgetting the real issues: poverty, security, unemployment rates, inflation, the debt that we are facing. How do we pay them? Not just come in and say, it's my turn, FC.
Yeah. That's not working anymore. And just like you said, these are the issues that should, drive, the electioneering process in 2023. People are supposed to be thinking in that way. The pain in the land is on the increase. People are suffering.
People are dying.
Hunger. The kind of hunger. I say 5K is like 5 naira to me now. It doesn't mean anything anymore. So these are the issues we're talking about. This insecurity, we see it everywhere. For some, because it hasn't gotten to their doorsteps, they feel, oh, don't worry, it's not as bad as you think. This government is trying. Some others, it has gotten to their doorstep and they feel the pain. And we don't want to wait till it gets to you. Like Mr. Victor rightly said, these are the issues we should be talking about. These are the conversations that should be on. And on top of that, you need to get your PVC. We say it here every day. You need to get your PVC to get involved in the change that we're all calling for. All right, Mr. Victor, that's all we'll take today. Thank you so much for always making it to the show. And to our viewers, I want to thank you. Thank you so much for staying with us on the program. This has been the Newspaper Review. And my name is William Zabule. I'll see you next time.